Now coming to the next chapter, that is average. Now what do you mean by average? It is that mean of a particular set of numbers. If it is given that there are 5 numbers in a number system, then you have to find out the average. It will be the sum of those 5 numbers divided by the total number of the numbers they have asked to be. In average, it is the sum of those numbers divided by the total number of number n. Now it seems to be very easy, but the problem with this part is you have to find in different forms. There can be question that find the average of the first 10 even numbers, or find the average of the first 10 odd number, or you can even ask, that find out the average of alternative even number. So while applying this question, while solving this question, you have to take into the consideration the previous learning, that is what kind of numbers are there in the number system. So in this there are various forms like mode, median, they all are form of averages. Even there can be arithmetic progression, geometric progression or harmonious progression in which you have to find out the averages. Now the question is that whether these questions will be in isolation or will be in combination with other types of questions. By analyzing various years CLAT question paper, it has been seen that they generally don't ask this question related to average chapter in isolation. They generally ask this with combination with other chapters, that can be for profit and loss, statistic or the natural number system. Now what do you mean by AP? That is arithmetic progression. Arithmetic progression is it's a kind of normal average system. Like first 5 natural numbers, its average arithmetic progression will be the sum of those 5 natural numbers divided by 5. Now we come, what do you mean by harmonic progression? It is reverse of arithmetic progression. What will be the result out of arithmetic progression? Its reverse will be harmonious progression. So question can be asked in this manner. They will give you a set of numerals like 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now they will ask you to find out the average and at the same time HP, that is harmonic progression. What you will do, that you will find out the sum of these, dividing them by total number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So divided by 5, what will be the result? Will be your average, and HP at the same time will be 1 of this number x, that will be found in this portion. So this is an important, even though easy, this is an important part because majority of questions are asked from this average part. So it is recommended that you should practice this area well, as many questions are asked from this. Now coming to the next part, which is important for this CLAT exam, is related to profit, loss and discount. Profit, loss and discount are the chapters that we generally read in our initial classes, and it's very important here because these questions are asked in combination with topics like discount. Profit, loss. Out of profit, loss, you have to calculate the discounts that are availed or the benefits that are availed. 3 types of questions are asked from this chapter. Firstly, a basic calculation for what exactly is the profit out of transaction, what are the losses. You have to even calculate the gain or the loss percent, and the last kind of question can be asked in combination of profit, loss and discount. Now coming to the question that what do you mean by profit? In a sale, there are basically 2 components related to price, that is cost price and SP, that is selling price. When an article is sold in the market, it is purchased basically by the shopkeeper. The amount the shopkeeper pays for purchasing this article X is called its cost price. This shopkeeper sells it to his client. The price paid by the client to the shopkeeper is called the selling price. Based on these 2 components, the profit, loss, or in situation when shopkeeper gives certain price discount to the client, in that situation also the gain and loss of the shopkeeper is calculated. Whether the shopkeeper has kept any motive for profit and loss while giving that discount or not can be determined, and this is the basic question which is given due to checking the numerical and the calculation ability of the students. Now coming to how to calculate CP. CP is given, SP is given. Now to calculate profit. Now profit means the shopkeeper is benefited out of that sale. How will you come to the conclusion that they have been benefited? When selling price is greater than cost price. And you will find the difference between SP minus CP. And this will give you the profit that is with the shopkeeper while selling the articles. Now coming to how you will calculate the percent of profit availed by the shopkeeper. The formula for that is P percent is equal to P into CP by 100. P into 100 by CP. This is for calculating the profit percent of a shopkeeper. In this we can say that the shopkeeper has availed this numeric value of profit while doing this transaction. Now coming to the next aspect of being at loss. The shopkeeper is being in loss when SP, that is the selling price of the shopkeeper, is less than that of his cost price. If he buys an article for 75 bucks and sell it out for 50 rupees, then he will be at loss because he has sold the property for 25 rupees less than for what he has purchased. So the loss is calculated by CP minus SP. The reason being that CP is greater than SP. So these are the basic two components of this chapter, calculating profit and loss, and the questions are built on that. Whether what is the profit percent, what is the loss percent. For calculating the loss percent, similarly as profit percent, loss into 100 by CP. This formula will be followed. In profit, loss and discount questions, it is generally seen that they generally don't give you to just calculate what will be the profit, what will be the loss. Rather, they give you an collaborative question, combined question, in which you have to calculate the profit and loss along with the profit percent or loss percent. So these are the formulas. I will write the formulas separately. Loss equal to CP minus SP. Profit is equal to SP minus CP. Now profit percent is equal to profit into 100 by CP. Loss percent will be loss into 100 by CP. These are the four basic formulas on which all the kinds of questions can be formed. Now what they do generally for confuse the students appearing for the exam, that they don't clearly give you the cost of CP or SP. Rather, they try to make a link between the transaction and ask you to calculate the same. I will give you an example that they says that a person X or a person Ram buys few oranges or 5 oranges for 100 rupees and sell them off for 120. Now calculate directly the profit or the loss percent that has been incurred by the person. Or even they can ask you to see whether there is profit or loss and calculate the percentage accordingly. You just have to put the CP and the SP value in these formulas initially by calculating whether there was profit or loss and coming to a conclusion and opting for the answer. Now coming to the next part, that is if in opposite to this SP, the selling price or CP is not given and you have to calculate the selling price or the cost price in the whole transaction, then what exactly you will be doing? There is another formula for calculating the exact numeric value of SP while profit percent or loss percent and cost price will be given. The formula for calculating SP in case of profit is 100 plus gain percent by 100 into CP. Keep in mind that while dealing these questions, it will always be the condition that two of the variables will be present. Like the major variable in this is cost price, selling price and profit or loss, any one of them. So the examiner will ask you to find only one of the variables, providing a value for other two variables. In this, they have given you for calculating selling price by providing the value of cost price and gain percent. There can be even situation when gain percent will not be provided, and you have to calculate the same. So you can derive the formula on your own by using this equation. I'll give a suggestion that don't go for memorizing the formulas as a whole, because it becomes very difficult while solving the question. It will be good if you keep in mind at least one formula, either for profit or loss, and then try to solve them accordingly. Because in this portion, profit, loss and discount, it has generally been seen that there are a large number of formulas which are derived from one formula. For example, if you see the profit and loss themselves, you can see that whichever value will be greater, that is whether CP is greater or SP is greater, the opposite is followed in the next numerals. Like if you are calculating for loss, CP minus SP, in the same manner profit, it will be SP minus CP. So you have to take into consideration what are the factors rather than memorizing the formula. If you go for a good practice based on these chapters, it can help you more. Like in SP, if you remember this formula, you can, from this formula itself, you can go for calculation of CP or the gain percent. Rather than they are simple. Obviously, if you derive from this formula, you will get separate formula for CP, you will get separate formula for gain percent, but that will be of no use because it will lead for confusion, that whether you will be applying this formula or which formula. So I will give a suggestion that go for only basic formulas, that is what is the formula for calculating the loss, what are the formulas for calculating profit, what are the formula for calculating the profit percent, loss percent and SP. Because from these formulas you will be able to get a answer for your question, and the questions are basic if we consider the part of profit, loss and percent, and 2 to 3 questions are asked every year on this topic.